And welcome back to another session of Awareness. I'm Taylor Martin, your host. I'm with Raquel Moore.
Hello.
And we were just talking a little bit about depression. It seems that more and more we're seeing an epidemic with mental health issues. And a lot of those stem into states of being within your mind and depression. Now there's a million prescription drugs that I see out there that are all over TV with a million side effects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, half the people I know are
I particularly like the anal leakage. That is a favorite of
it's
mine.
a good one. You know, and I can't tell you how many people that I know that on a regular see therapists and are seeking ways to get out of their hell, to be perfectly honest. So let's talk a little bit about depression, why depression exists, how it gets in the body, and how spiritual mechanics plays its part as we look at mental health and depression as a whole.
Okay. What I have personally experienced, because I have experienced a lot of depression, because I've been through a lot in my life, probably more than most people. I did not have the happiest of childhoods or family life. And when I found out what actually caused depression, it's a low-level dark energy or entity that usually gets in different parts of your body, mostly your brain or your sixth chakra area. So if you can use the tools or the spiritual mechanics to get rid of the depression, because I've worked on a lot of people that are suicidal, and there's always an entity in the center of their head telling them to kill themselves or you're not worth anything, all this victim stuff.
Right. I mean, if you're not in control of your thoughts, then something else is.
Right. If you're hearing those little voices saying negative, you can't do this, or you're not worth anything, or those are usually one-dimensional beings that are in your space, and you can use the tools to actually, we'll say, delete those. As if they're little, we'll say, gremlins, monsters. Some people call them their demons.
Right.
And they think it's real funny when you're depressed, or when you're going to hurt yourself, or even, when you shoot yourself in the head. Because I've had to deal with people's relatives that, they come back and they find their kid on the floor with their brains blown out.
Right. I mean, that's how they win. I mean,
right.
There's a very dark agenda that's in place.
Yeah.
And that's how they win.
Yeah. It's kind of like the good side against the dark side, and that's just how it gets in. And by using, we'll say, a lot of the stuff that's out there that's used right now is just simply a Band-Aid. And eventually your spirit is so strong, the Band-Aid doesn't work anymore. So if it's, whatever you're using to cope with the demons or the darkness or the suicide thoughts or the depression.
Right. In a lot of them, it's medication, it's alcohol, and it's heavy drugs.
Right. And eventually those won't work. And I don't care how much, because I've dealt with everybody, whether they've done drugs, they've done prescription, whatever. And I've worked with these people, and these tools actually work. It gets them, we'll say, their freedom back and their own spiritual energy back in their body. And it gets rid of those, we'll say, dark thoughts, whatever they may come from or whatever they may be.
Right.
Because there are many dimensions of it.
Right. I think that's really good. So it's time to clear your space. It's time to start living your best life. So thanks again for joining us for another session of Awareness, and we'll see you soon.